Hey there, let me ask you a question. Is it time to reset? To reset your mindset? Well, here you are. It's summer and you're home and you decide that, oh, I better clean out my home office before the next school year starts. And so you first of all, you walk in there and you're like, whoa, blown away because there's stuff piled like everywhere. Books and plans and, why all this stuff is at home and not at school, goodness knows, but it is. And so you just like want to like beat yourself up because you're usually more organized, but not when it comes to this space. And you can't even put it out as creative because it's just, let's face it, it's just a disorganized mess. And so you're pretty hard on yourself. Or as you're clearing through the piles of things, you find a note and oh, you smile because it's one of those precious gifts from a parent. It's a thank you note where they're going on and on about how grateful they are for how you helped their special needs child and how kind and patient you are and were. And then you think, oh, that felt so good. And then your mind trickles through when you think, oh, yeah, it's a good thing that parent didn't see me when I lost it all those times with my homeroom class. hmm And then maybe you're an administrator or someone who evaluates other staff members, and you notice that you have, comments, and usually you don't have, it's not the evaluation itself, but it's the notes that you took. And you're, clearing out this stuff on your computer and you read through it a little bit and you're like, wow, that was really pretty harsh. And you're thinking, wow, I I can be a really mean, you know what. Uh-huh. And so you look at these things where you're noticing that you're not as upbeat and optimistic and organized and positive and patient and kind, at least in your estimation. And so what do you do about that? Well, we'll get to that in a moment, but first of all, let me introduce myself to those of you who don't know me. My name is Catherine Walters, and I'm a soul alignment expert and also a former educator. And I help conscious educators, whether they be classroom teachers or special teachers or administrators, to align with who they are, with their soul and their energy, and to release and let go of burnout, or to not step into what's next. What's their next step on their soul path? And it may be in education and it may not. Okay. So, what do you do to have this like mindset reset? Well, what I've noticed is I've worked with my clients and on myself for a number of years. And the first thing that know that is essential that you do is you forgive yourself. hmm Because beating yourself up and, whatever, does that serve? No. So, and like Louise Hay, who's the publisher who started Hay House Publishing, and she's like an educator in just so many ways, maybe not necessarily in the classroom, but she says this about parents. And since teachers are very much play the and have the parent hat in place, probably almost every day of the school year, that this is what she said about that parents and teachers, and I added that, do the best they can with the information, and I'm going to add an energy that they had at the time. So sure, you can look back now. I mean, hindsight's 2020. We all know that, and go like, I should have done better. I should have been more kind. I should have been more look for the good in someone. I should have complimented them more, and blah 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 blah. I should have, could have, all that kind of stuff, and that just makes you feel crappy, right? So instead, forgive yourself. The second thing is you're kind of doing it in a way as you clear out for the summer, your office and so forth, is let go. And I'm not just talking about the files in your laptop or the papers or the crap that you collected over the school year, the putting the books back in their place. I'm talking about letting go of the criticism, the judgment, the whatever is ready to be let go, to release, just let it go. You don't need it. You don't need it. You didn't need it then, you don't need it moving forward. And the third thing is to allow yourself to let in what's ready to come in. Who knows what energy, new opportunities, higher potential, um, like excitement, joy, fun, magic could be on their way in. But when we're filled up with all the other gunk, there's no space. So, in a nutshell, forgive, release, and open. Now, if you've been listening to this, you are a conscious educator. And I know that you are caring. You're compassionate. You're empathetic. You feel for your students, your whole heart, your whole being. When they're excited, you're excited for them. And when they do poorly on it and get a poor grade in something or whatever, you feel for them, even though you know you have to keep the standard and keep the grade intact. So, but the thing of it is, it's like, how do you, that weighs you down. It exhausts you when you're carrying on, carrying all this energy that's not necessarily your own. What do you do with that? And I know that you you want to think the best. You want to give your best to everyone in your school, your community, and but what about you? When are you going to stop criticizing and judging yourself, making yourself, holding yourself to these like impossible perfect standards, when what you really want is to accept yourself and be kind and more patient with your own self? And I know that you want to feel lighter. Yeah, this burnout, this like exhaustion and feeling down and negative and that negativity that just isn't you. And or the disorganization, that's not you either. And yet here you are at more times than you want to like admit to yourself. You're really feeling pretty negative and crappy. And what you want to feel is hopeful and positive and optimistic. Then and I know you have tried, and I know you work on it, and I know you do talk to yourself and try to boost yourself back up, but sometimes it's really hard. And then when you add in things from the outside world, like a shooting in a school or something else where there's just so much fear, it just adds to the weight of it all. So what can you do? What I would suggest is that let's have a conversation. Let's talk about what's going on with your energy, how you can manage your energy better so that it really supports you and frees you up so you can let go and be open for what you do want to bring in. And if let's make burnout a thing of the past. And that next level where being in education where you are, it may fit, but maybe it doesn't anymore. And you don't know what to do with that. And you really want to know what's next. Again, let's have a conversation. It's called a soul alignment call. And we'll talk about all this and we'll create a plan for you so that you know and you can find out what's next so that you have the energy and the enthusiasm and the fun and the joy and the positivity, the organization that is you. So if you're curious about this, then just click on this link and I'll be in touch. Love and blessings until I see you again. Namaste.